Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be going over my monthly favorites for the month of July. I feel like I say this in every single video, but I honestly cannot believe how fast the months just like roll on by until I sit down to film these. So July is gone, August is here, and yeah, I don't have a huge list per usual. I like to keep these lists pretty small. I don't like to throw too many products in your direction, especially stuff that, maybe I tried once or twice that I like. Now, my favorites videos always consist of things that I have been reaching for over and over and over and over and over again, and that I probably would repurchase in the future. Like, these are definitely items that are probably going to stick around because I like them so much, or that much. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started on the first product. All right, so we're gonna start off with skincare. First one up is this guy right here from Paula's Choice. It is the 1% retinol treatment with peptides and vitamin C. I can honestly say that this has made such a difference in my skin. I see it every single morning when I wake up. I'm like excited to see my skin now because I know that it looks a lot more smooth. It looks a lot more even. Everything is just, it just looks good. I'm not running into breakouts like I once was. After I incorporated the Ordinary serum, the niacinamide and zinc serum from the Ordinary, I did start to notice the breakouts kind of go away, especially here along the forehead. For whatever reason, my forehead just loves to break out. Once I incorporated that Ordinary serum, it did help control that a little bit, but not as much as I would have liked. So did a little bit more reading, learned a little bit more about what ingredients you want to incorporate into skincare in order to deal with that. And this was definitely one that was recommended. So I decided to include it, and I'm never going back. The one thing that I will say is that you have to start off slow when you're first introducing retinol into your skincare. I stupidly did not, because I did start off slow during the first couple of weeks, and then I was so excited because I was seeing the results that I loved. So I started using it like every single night instead of every other, or like 2 to 3 at first, or like you're supposed to do at first. And yeah, it was a little much. So I had to back up. I had to start it again, and that's how I know that this truly did make a difference, because I backed off. I didn't do it for like a week until my skin kind of like recovered, and I was starting to see some breakouts again, and like my skin just didn't look like what it was looking like. So once I incorporated this back in slowly, it looks great. It looks great. I'm never going back to not using it. Now I use it every other night, and it's fine. But yeah, start off slow. Don't jump in head first, especially when you're using a new ingredient in your skincare. Definitely recommend this one though. Another skincare product that I purchased, I believe at the same time that I purchased the Paula's Choice retinol treatment, is this Argan Pro Retinol Eye Concentrate from Josie Moran. I love this stuff. It really does help smooth the under eye area, but without being too thick or feeling like it's going to move around. It's very, very lightweight. It wears super well underneath makeup. You don't have to worry about your makeup moving around or this creating any issues. I've seen improvements underneath my eye area as far as hydration and fine lines. I still have fine lines, but I just don't feel like they're as pronounced as they once were. So definitely helped with that. I love this stuff for morning and night. I cannot recommend this enough. So if you feel like you need help with the under eye area, or perhaps like your concealers are not wearing or looking as smooth as they once did, or as smooth as you perhaps want them to, look into like an eye cream or something like this to incorporate that into your skincare, because I guarantee you that it will help. Good skincare always makes such a difference when it comes to makeup. All right, next, let's talk about some dry shampoos. These are two that I have been reaching for a ton, especially during this last month. You guys know, or if you don't, well, now you're about to. I've been looking for great dry shampoos, but that aren't going to like break the bank. IGK has a really good one, but it's like $30 some or $30. I don't know. It's up there. And I've been using a ton of dry shampoo, so I really don't want to repurchase the same one over and over again. And I also wanted to give other options a chance, because why not? So I picked up this Eva NYC Freshen Up Invisible Dry Shampoo. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. It absorbs oils, and it definitely makes your hair feel like you just washed it. Like this morning was not looking this lifted and this, clean, if you will. When I did my hair, or when I looked at my hair this morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I should just shower because it just looks so oily. I was like, you know what? This has been working. Let's try it out. I applied it, let it sit for a little bit, and then I just like massaged the scalp to let this product start absorbing all the oils. And now it looks like I just washed it. So I love this stuff so much. The packaging is 100% recyclable. It is vegan. It is cruelty-free. It has no sulfates, parabens, phthalates, you know, all that good stuff. Definitely checks off good boxes. Highly recommend this one. Another one that I recommend that I've been using, but not as much as this one. I have been using this one as well. This is a deep clean dry shampoo from Redken. I like it because for the same reasons, like it really does absorb the oils. It does not feel heavy. Everything feels really, really light, like you just washed your hair. However, I don't reach for it as much as the Eva one because it's a little bit more heavily scented. And this one does have a little bit of a white cast that it leaves. Watch, I'll show you. See that? But it does go away. So, you know, it doesn't stay there. I usually just apply it. I let it sit for a little bit and then I just kind of do this number and this takes care of the whiteness. However, when I'm not in the mood for heavy fragrances, like I'm not in the mood right now, I don't reach for that one. I reach for this one because it's definitely a lot more mildly scented. It's still a great dry shampoo that I have been using throughout the month. So I had to include it. So next, let's go over, I've got three concealers that I really want to share with you guys that I've been loving this last month. And we're gonna start off with this one right here, the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I know that you guys have seen me mention it before as like one of my top concealers, but ever since I purchased the NARS Radiant Creamy color corrector, I pair it with this. That's what I have on right now. And it just looks so good under the eye area. I've been loving that combination. They're meant to go together, right? Radiant Creamy Color Corrector, Radiant Creamy Concealer. I love the way that they pair with one another and it just wears so well. It conceals everything. Nothing moves around. So that corrector has truly made me kind of come back to this concealer and continue to reach for it more and more and over and over and over again. I really love the finish of the concealer and the finish of the corrector. It's more like a natural finish, so you're not going to get too dry underneath the eyes. You're not going to get too hydrated underneath the eyes. It's not going to move around or settle in between fine lines. It's just going to wear so comfortably and beautifully underneath, and it conceals everything. I love that combination. Another concealer that I've been reaching for a lot since I reviewed it is this one from Ulta Beauty. I never knew that they had such a great concealer. Like I swear they've had this forever, or it seems that way. And yeah, I never really looked at it until last month when I reviewed it. I was like, you know what? Let's give it a try. It says it's waterproof. It's supposed to be full coverage. Why not? Truly, truly worth the price and more. Like this is only $9, but I would happily pay like $20 for this because it wears even better than some of my high-end concealers that I've reviewed or some of my high-end concealers that I have. It looks really nice underneath the eyes. The only downside I would say for this particular concealer is the shade range. It's not too wide, so that can be improved upon. But if you can find your shade, you will not regret purchasing this concealer. Super inexpensive, I'd say really high coverage, and it wears well all day long. Another concealer that I reviewed last month that I have been reaching for even after I reviewed it is this one here from Lancome. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Someone tried to teach me through the comment section in this video, and I don't know. I guess it's French. So Tintidol? I don't know. You guys tell me. How do you pronounce this? But anyway, this concealer is amazing. It's really, really nice, super lightweight. You don't need a ton in order to get really nice coverage, and you can wear it all over. So if you do plan on wearing it all over and you're not one to highlight the under eye area, make sure that you pick out a shade that's closest to your complexion, and then that way, not only is that going to help cover the dark circles, but then you can wear it all over the face as well. So whenever I've had any blemishes, this is what I've kind of been patting on it since it is pretty close to my complexion. I love what it does underneath the eyes because it completely conceals the dark circles. I really like how it wears throughout the entire day. It doesn't feel heavy. It's not drying. Like it's really nice. Nice, comfortable, really great coverage. Next, since we just covered concealers, let's go over setting the under eye area, like setting powders for the under eye area. This is one that I have been grabbing a ton, and you guys probably noticed because I've been using it in pretty much every single video recently. I had forgotten about it. if I'm being 100% honest. I forgot about this Pat McGrath blurring under eye powder. I have the shade medium, but one of you, I don't know if you guys were asking about it. I think I was talking about setting powders in a video. I want to say maybe it was a favorites video. And one of you asked like, hey, what about the Pat McGrath? Like, you don't like that one anymore, or what's going on? That reminded me, and this is all I've been using. It is such a good powder, such a good powder for the under eye area. I love this with every single concealer that I pair it with. I feel like it wears beautifully regardless of what concealer I put underneath it. So this truly does help make everything look nice and smooth. It sets everything but without looking heavy. It sets everything but without looking dry. It just looks so good underneath the eyes. Definitely recommend this for the under eye area. The only thing with these is that they break easily, you know, that's the only thing, but such a great under eye powder. Great. All right. Next, for foundation, I have been going through my stash and I decided, you know what, I need to start using all these other foundations that I kind of forgot I had. And one that I grabbed that I've been reaching for over and over again during this last month is this one from Dior. This is the Dior Forever Matte foundation, because they do have two options. They have the, the Skin Glow one, and they have this matte one. Now lately, I don't always like to look matte. I do prefer looking a little bit more radiant, a little dewy. So what I've been doing with this foundation, since it is a matte formula, I've been mixing it into my glowish skin tint from Huda Beauty. It gives me such beautiful coverage, such a great finish. Like, that's what I have on right now, and I feel like my skin just looks nice and healthy. Like, I've had an adequate amount of water for the day, which I know I have not. I need to go drink some, but anyway, this looks great on the skin, especially combined with that. I love it without it, I love it with it, and this is what I've been wearing pretty much the entire month. Anytime that I reach for makeup, this is kind of what I end up reaching for. And I wear the shade 2W in case you use me as reference. This is what 2W looks like. Now, last but not least, liquid lipsticks. You guys know, and if you don't, you're about to find out. I love liquid lipsticks. I prefer them over anything and everything. I don't know what it is about them. I feel like they don't kind of like get into my mouth. That's what I hate. That's why I don't like traditional lipsticks as much, because I just feel like they kind of end up in your mouth a little bit. And they move around. They don't necessarily stay put all day long. And for someone who's not constantly looking in the mirror and constantly trying to touch up throughout the day, I appreciate that. So that's why I prefer liquid lipsticks. These are some of the most comfortable liquid lipsticks that you will ever run into. They're liquid, matte, but comfortable, flexible. They're not as thin as like the NARS, the Power Matte liquid lipsticks that I really love. Those are super pigmented. The formula is really thin. It's almost like water. So when you put them on, it doesn't feel like you have anything on. These are not like that. This formula is definitely a little bit more on the thick side. However, it's not drying. So even though it is a matte liquid lipstick, it does not dry out the lips. It doesn't feel like, you know, your lips are just cracking and there's just no coming back from it. These are three of the shades that I have right here. This one, I believe, is cashmere? Yes, cashmere, and that's what I have on the lips right now. The one in the middle is suede, and the last one is dapper. So all three, which is perfect for like fall. Like if you want a little bit of pink, but during winter or fall times, I would reach for this one, absolutely. Super comfortable, super pigmented, as you can clearly see, but they're not drying on the lips at all. Love them. So that completes my monthly favorites. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this video and that you found it helpful. Per usual, don't forget to leave me your monthly favorites down in the comments section below. I always love to read through those. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, where I absolutely love to interact with you guys. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.